Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Chef Adarsh. Today we are gonna be making ravioli. For making ravioli, we are first gonna prepare the dough. Our ravioli today is gonna be a veg ravioli. This is semolina flour, this is water, and the first step to making a good ravioli is kneading the dough. So our dough is already kneaded. So I'm gonna let it rest by covering it with a damp cloth. And now I'm gonna let it rest for around half an hour. Our dough has been resting for some time. Now it's time to make our filling. We are gonna make our filling out of ricotta cheese. You can see I'm gonna pour most some of the ricotta cheese in my mixing bowl. I'm gonna keep it aside. Now it's time to chop up some herbs. Now we are gonna put our chopped rosemary in the mixing bowl. Now it's time to chop up some basil. We have chopped up our basil. Now we are also gonna put it in the mixing bowl. Now we are gonna add some of our cheddar cheese. You can add any cheese you want. Just try not to use processed cheese. Now as you can see, our filling is ready. As you can see, now our dough has set. Now it's time to stuff our ravioli. So our dough is ready. I'm gonna take a small chunk of it and make a ball out of it. Since I don't have a pasta making machine, I have to uh, manually roll it into very thin sheets. And if you are wondering how thin, as thin as possible. These are supposed to be paper thin. Now I have rolled my first sheet. You can see how thin it is. It's almost see-through. Now I'm gonna roll 10 to 15 more such sheets, and then we are gonna cut squares from it, put our stuffing in the middle and paste the sides using water. So it doesn't really have to be circular. You can make the number of sheets depending on how much dough you have and filling you have left. Now I'm gonna roll such few more sheets. Now as you can see, I have rolled two such sheets. I'm gonna put some flour in the middle to prevent them from sticking. I'm gonna lay them on top of each other. It will help us cut equal size squares. You can also make it in a circular shape if possible, but since I have a knife, it's easier for me to make it in a square shape. From after layering these two, I'm gonna cut the biggest square possible. Take my filling and place it exactly in the middle of one of the squares. I'm gonna put a little more filling. Now I'm gonna use water to seal the ravioli. I'm gonna put water on the edges. This make sure the edges are wet and it will stick properly. And now I'm gonna take my other sheet of ravioli, put one edge on the other edge, and slowly let it sit over the film. And then I'm gonna use my hands to press the two sides together. So that you can visually separate those. Now it's time to boil our pasta. First I'm gonna put salt in the water. Remember, we have to salt our pasta water as the ocean. So we have to put a lot of salt. Don't be skimpy on the salt. Now we are gonna raise the flame to make sure it starts boiling. In just a second it will start boiling. As you can see, the bubbles have started to rise. And now it's time to put in my ravioli. I'm gonna slowly start putting in my ravioli while it's bubbling. We are gonna have to cook the ravioli for 2 to 3 minutes in directly bubbling water. And now I'm gonna cover it and I'm gonna wait for 2 to 3 minutes. It has been 2 minutes. Now I'm gonna remove my ravioli from the hot boiling water. Since I didn't add extra salt in the filling, the salty water has made up for that. Remember, the pasta only has to be partially cooked because we are also gonna put it in the sauce for a while. And now all our pasta is cooling down. Now it's time to cook our sauce. Now I'm gonna puree my tomatoes. For that, first I'm gonna cut my tomatoes and I'm gonna put them in the blender. Now it's time to prepare our sauce. First, we are gonna add our extra virgin olive oil in our pan. That's enough. Now we are gonna add our garlic. Now we are first gonna add a tablespoon of sugar. Salt. And finally rosemary. And now we are going to wait for the sugar to melt and coat the garlic and rosemary. And then we are going to add our tomato puree. Our garlic has turned red and our sugar has melted. We are going to add our tomato puree. This is sizzling because the tomato contains a lot of water and its water sizzles when it touches oil. Now we are going to mix everything in. I'm going to add nice cheese. Wait for it to melt and make our sauce creamy. Now it's time to add my ravioli. I'm just going to gently put it over the marinara sauce. After I have put them in, I'm just going to gently mix it together. Just slowly I'm going to just take this and flip it over. And just like that, gently take the others and flip them. Since I have made a red sauce, the ricotta cheese is gonna amplify the flavor with an extra cheesy vanilla taste. Now as you can see, our dish is ready. Now it's time for plating. I'm gonna put them in this white plate. First I'm gonna remove one and gently place it in the middle of the plate. And then a small one and gently place it over it, a little sideways. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of my ricotta cheese filling over it. A little bit on the small one too. And to add a little bit of greenery in the dish, 2 basil leaves. And that's it. This is my ravioli. प्यार से बनाया है, अच्छा ही होगा.